We're back! What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dustin and my beautiful wife Ashley K. Brown. You already know what's good.
Yeah. Last time you saw us, it was a long time ago. So
man, it's been a minute.
Guess who's back? Back
again.
The Brown friend,
Yay!
back. Tell your friends. Okay, so anyway.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
Well, it was when we announced we were pregnant. So.
Year and a half now?
Yeah, year and a half.
Time flies, guys. Seriously. When you're just, like, I feel like we got out of the habit of filming a lot and then, you know, having a baby and, you know, with work life and all this other stuff. And
yeah, so our goal and our plan was to start a YouTube channel to document this growth and this journey, and then I got sick. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, morning sickness, all day sickness.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it morning sickness, but anyway, long story short, I got really sick. So we tried filming. Yeah, that's Tegan. We have a baby now, surprise. But yeah, we tried filming. We filmed the Try Not to Laugh challenge, and that video come here. In that video, I was beyond sick, and so it just wasn't going to work.
And it was literally for like 2 months. You were just sick, and
this is Tegan.
Couldn't really do much.
Yeah, you know, I was in bed 24/7, so.
She was on that cracker and ginger ale diet.
Yeah.
Just to try.
Super nauseous all the time. Oh my gosh. But anyway, we're going to welcome ourselves back by doing a things we wish we knew before having a baby video. Yeah. So let's jump right into that. The first one we have, it's an overall topic and then things within that topic. So breastfeeding. What a journey. I'll start with that one just because that's more on me, and then Dustin can tell his perspective. I seriously underestimated breastfeeding. It's painful. Beyond belief, at least for me. It was super painful, but I'll just start off with my story. What I wish I knew before is that it is painful. Lots of people will be like, oh, get nipple cream, your nipples are going to be sore. That is seriously underestimating it. It was so beyond painful for me. I don't know if that's the same for everyone or if it's different. But for me, a little bit of my story, she latched wrong, I guess, the first time. And so, and I didn't know. I thought she didn't. Here, baby, you want to play with this? Anyway, I thought she latched the right way. And lots of people asked us before, like, oh, are you going to do a breastfeeding class? Anything like that. And we were kind of just like, not like, oh no, but at the same time, I was kind of like, oh, it can't be that hard, you know, in my head. Like, you just stick the baby on your boob, you know? But
can't be that hard.
That's beyond what I got. So I got a scab on my nipple, which made it 10 million times even worse. I remember sitting there just bawling because it was so painful, and it's something I really wanted to do, and I was really, really passionate about it. And however any mom chooses to breastfeed or feed their baby, a fed baby is the best baby. So whatever you choose to do is totally fine. But I remember sitting there thinking, like, I get why girls give up. I get why they do not breastfeed, because it was so painful for me. Like, just bawling. Like, and I would tense up every time she was about to latch, and I would just squeeze.
Oh my gosh. I would literally get, like, anxiety. When Tegan was hungry, I'm like, oh no, here we go. Because, like, I'm helpless almost.
Yeah.
Like, just to see your wife bawling, as soon as she attached you, just seeing that pain, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you're doing great, man. Like, cheering you on, being your cheerleader. Like, I don't even know. Oh my gosh, you're a rock star.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to handle that. I know for a fact.
Do you remember I was sitting on the couch one day and I was just lost it, crying. I was like, this is one of the most painful things I've ever experienced, even outside of childbirth, which obviously I had an epidural, which we can get into later. So obviously birth wasn't as painful as it could have been for me, but still, I was like, one of the most painful things I've ever experienced in my experience. Some people, maybe it doesn't hurt at all. I don't know. I'm speaking from my experience, so understand that. But anyway, just how painful it was. The next under the topic of breastfeeding was thirsty. When you breastfeed, you instantly feel like you are, like, dying for water. Like, you haven't had water in months.
You've been in the Sahara Desert for 2 days.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, just absolutely, like, craving water. Like, I've never craved water before in my life. Like instantly, I'm just like, can you get me water?
You're like, I need water right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, here you go. And she just downed a whole water. I'm like, all right, cool, you know?
Yeah, so that was a crazy experience. When your milk comes in, that's another topic. I actually didn't write that down, but I'm just now remembering it as I'm talking. It like is like a tingly, it's not painful, but it also isn't like comfortable feeling. But like you can feel your milk drop. But anyway, another thing under the topic of breastfeeding, I don't know if this... Oh yeah, you tell them.
Is that right?
It's good. That's all I know. It's good. But under the topic of breastfeeding is stomach contractions, like after you give birth. Like everybody's abs contract back down, I'm sure. I don't think this is... Oh, here, Daddy.
You want to come to Daddy?
I don't think this is just a breastfeeding thing. It might be. But I know that from what I understand in my experience, when you breastfeed, it starts to happen. But anyway, your abs contracting back after you've had a baby. Oh my gosh. Another one of the most painful things. Like, in the hospital, she would go to nurse, and not only is my boobs hurting, like I'm like, oh my gosh, but my stomach, like you have your stomach starts contracting. Yay! Your stomach starts contracting back down because of you. You did it. You did it. But your stomach starts contracting back down, and that's another super painful thing. Just like the next thing is cluster feeds. That is something I wish I knew about, because for me, mentally and emotionally afterwards. So cluster feeding is something your baby... Oh my goodness! Cluster feeding is something your baby does when they're trying to get your milk to come in. Like it's perfectly normal. It happens to everyone after birth, but they go through this phase where they like non-stop breastfeed. Like they don't stop. And I didn't...
It's like every hour, right?
Yeah, and it's like all night long.
Like, dude, I just fed you, and they're like wanting to eat more.
Yeah, and when you're in pain, like you're just like, no. Like, I just fed you. I'm not feeding you again. Like, leave me alone. And yeah, but it's perfectly normal. Every baby goes through it, but they're just trying to get your milk in. And so I didn't know about that. That is another thing I wish I knew before, because me also, after you give birth, you have all these emotions and stuff. And so I kind of was like, what is wrong? Like, is she not... Yeah. I was like, is she not getting food? Am I not feeding her enough? Am I not producing enough? Like, what is going on? And so that's something I wish that I knew about. Like, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you got that right on point. I just feel like the next thing that I just thought, like, babies just fell asleep on their own.
Mm-hmm. That's
you know
our next
like,
topic. Overtiredness and fighting sleep.
Like, with her, she'll stay up all day. But you have to, like, actively try to get her to take a nap, or she'll stay up all day.
Yeah.
No problem. Like, since she was born, she did not like taking naps. And we have to actively try to get her to take a nap.
Yeah, I remember when she was born, she'd be up for like 8 to 12 plus hours at a time.
Like,
and I remember telling Dustin, I was like, I thought newborns slept all the time. I had no idea that is not the case. And I was like, I don't know if this is normal. We asked our doctor, and she's like, yeah, no, she should be sleeping a lot more. But we like to joke and say our baby has FOMO. She has fear of missing out. Like, she's awake all the time. We still have to fight it to this day. She still hasn't even, like, today hasn't even napped. She's 8 months old now, and we're like, dude, like, she's supposed to have like 2 to 3 naps a day, I think, at this point, and still not napping.
She fights it. Like, we try to.
Yeah.
But she just fights it. She doesn't want to
go to sleep when they're tired. Like, she'll be exhausted, rubbing her eyes. That's another thing, is like tired cues we look for. Rubbing her eyes and eyebrows being red, and she fights it. Like, she'll be dead asleep in our arms, and we go to set her down, and she's like, ah! Like, so that's something we didn't know about. We wish we'd have knew about. So.
Like, another thing, like, with... when she was younger, like, we've heard of like the colic and stuff like that, like babies, oh yeah, they'll have colic, they'll like cry for like an hour straight. No, Tegan would do it for like 5 hours. There's for like good 2 weeks, it was like 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. on the spot. She was up for 5 hours. I would try to burp around the house. We would go on car rides. We would do literally everything possible.
That's our next topic, is colic, by the way.
Literally just try to get her to stop crying, relax, and like be able to go to sleep.
I guess she's what's called a true colic too. So like, it wasn't, you didn't touch on this, right? I was playing with the baby. Okay, so true colic. So it's not like, oh, she cries for a couple hours at night because she's fussy. She was like true colic, which means like from a certain time frame to a certain time frame every night for a certain amount of time, she just screams. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Like, you pretty much just have to live in that moment and support each other and be like, hey, it's just a phase, which is another topic we'll get to later. But, yeah, just kind of support each other. There's things you can do to try and help, but none of them seemed to work on her because she was true colic. Yeah, you tell them. She like does this thing where when someone's talking or there's noise, she likes to be louder right now. It's like this phase she's going through. If we're in church, she'll literally start like screaming. And we're like, dang it. It's funny. But anyway, that brings us to the next topic. How tired I would actually be after giving birth. I mean, everyone says it. You're going to be tired. Get your sleep. My mom was telling me you're going to want to go to sleep. I wasn't tired. I was excited before I gave. Oh my goodness. You tell them. I was excited before I gave birth. So I didn't want to sleep. Like, I was excited and stuff like that. And my mom's like, you're going to want to sleep.
I know I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. And I don't feel like it's as much, like, it's a lot. It's emotional exhaustion. We'll share our story one time, too. I went through a lot of, like, emotional roller coaster right before I gave birth. So we'll share our story time later on. But the only way I can explain it is I was exhausted afterwards. Like, our hospital's like, oh, she's awake. Do you want to do skin to, or she's cold. Do you want to do skin to skin, or do you want us to put her under the heater lamp? And I was like, I've tried doing skin to skin and I'm like falling asleep. I'm afraid she's going to fall off me. So can you put her under the heater lamp? Like, I wanted so much to do skin to skin even longer to warm her up. Like, I wanted to warm her up. That's like your natural instinct, you know, but I was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna fall asleep and she's gonna fall off of me, so I got it. And so I was exhausted, like super tired, more than I thought, so that was weird.
Well, also given she was born at like just a little over midnight too, so it was late already, so
yeah. So our next topic is the epidural, like my sore back from epidural. I did not realize that a lot of the healing would be from my epidural. I didn't have any complications. My anesthesiologist was amazing. He did a great job. I have nothing to say negative about that other than the fact that afterwards I was so sore because they shoot zings up your back, so it's like
shoot zings.
It's like that's what it felt like. I was afraid for the shot, the needle, okay,
shoot zings. But
it was like painful zings up your spine is the painful part of it. But anyway, long story short, after the epidural and stuff, and I was healing, my back was so sore. Like walking, I was like hunched over. And, like, that was, like, one of the things I had to recover from most was my epidural, actually.
Yeah.
Just because I was so sore.
Yeah, your back was sore for a while.
A long time. I was like, hopefully this isn't forever. But, like, yeah, it was a long time. So then we'll go into the next topic because I don't know, really, unless you have something to say about that.
Nope.
The next topic is selfishness. Doing whatever you want, whenever you want. So don't get me wrong, we knew this. This isn't something we wish we knew before having a baby, but I feel like until you live through it and you actually know, like, the details of it. Hi. The details. Oh, I love you. The details of it. Anyway, the details of it, like, and actually living through that, like, you don't realize how truly selfish you are. I wouldn't say that either of us are selfish people really at all. Like, obviously we all have selfish tendencies. We're human, but I mean, what would you add to that? I just don't think you realize until you're in that. Like, we talked about it. We were like, oh, it's gonna be different now. Like, it's not gonna be just us, like our baby. It's gonna be about her.
I feel like you go into the mindset like, hey, like, this is a baby. We're taking care of her. Like, we're going to have to sacrifice things for a short time. Like, going to the movies, like, kind of the obvious. But even, like, trying to go to the bathroom or taking a shower. Like, you can't just do it whenever you want.
And you almost get a little frustrated. Like, not in a bad way, but you almost get a little frustrated at first because you're like, I just want to use the bathroom. I just want to take a shower real quick. Like, even those little tiny things you can't do in the beginning, like, so yeah, I just don't think you realize how truly selfish. Oh my goodness, let me get her a teething thing because she's trying to bite on things. Okay, I got her a teething toy, so we should be good now.
Yeah, good.
But anyway, yeah, just to kind of wrap a bow on that is, yeah, other than, I just think we talked about it, we knew, but then when it's different when you live through it and you're in that moment, you're just like, wow, you really, really can't do whatever you want, whenever you want. Like,
No.
wow.
And you have to like plan out, you're like, oh, her nap's at this time, so we need to go out this time to put her down for a nap, or she's going to be overtired. So, like, literally, you're revolving so much, you know, around sleep schedules and all this. And so you really have to put, you know, what you want kind of on the back burner a little bit. Not saying not to do, you know, things that fill up your cup or anything, but yeah, just like prioritizing different things. It's crazy now.
And it's better now too. Like, she can stand, so I'll do a shower and she'll like stand there and play with her toys. Feelings towards your fur babies. This one's more on me than Dustin for sure. But I don't know, you almost feel a little bit guilty and alone, but she threw it on the floor. That's okay. But anyway, you almost feel, do you want to get it? Okay, so she dropped this. I had to pick it up off the floor. Looks good. Justin's more of the, is there a hair on that?
No, you
but
don't want hairs on
anyway, feelings towards your fur babies is the next topic. I would say that that's more of a me thing than a Dustin thing. What? That's more of a me thing than a Dustin thing, and you just feel so guilty, but it's very true. People say, like, your animal is going to be last. Before this, my dog was, like, everything. I loved him. He was, like, my fur baby.
Yeah. He slept in bed with us, like, snuggled with us. And
honestly, I don't want to say I hate him because that's strong, but I definitely, like, you grow to resent them at times. Like,
I feel like
just being pregnant, you're like, I can't with you right now. Lots of people say that you get frustrated and you take it out on, like, your husband, or you get emotional and, like, you take it out on your husband. I don't feel like I did. I feel like I took it out on my dog. And not, like,
I feel like your patience were just short with them. So, like, I feel like already having a baby, like, she has to be on you, breastfeeding constantly and all this.
Yeah, taking
and then
all
for
of
him
the
to try to be all over you, it's like, Zeus, please stop.
Exactly.
Like, you're already.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. Yeah, just, your body belongs to your baby, and you go from it being you and to this little baby, this little lovely baby thing, needing you 24/7 to just, like, if your dog's on you or, like, if he's under my feet, like, I just get so frustrated. So it's so true what people say, like, your dog's gonna come last, and no matter how much you love them, like, at least for me in my experience, like, I feel so guilty saying it, but like, I'm just like,
You still love him.
Yeah,
we
I love him to
too.
death. Like, it's just more like I had zero patience. Like, sometimes I'd be like, Zeus, stop, and Dustin would literally be like, don't be mean to him, babe. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, I'm not trying to, that's just what happened. And so for me, it's just like, and I couldn't ever imagine that. I love my dog. I love him so much, but I don't know if it's the hormones or what, but that's just what happened. And I feel bad for having those thoughts and feelings, but honestly, I wanted to be relatable, and I feel like if I went through this, more moms have gone through this, or more women have gone through this, and just want them to know, like, you're not alone. That's the point of this video, is, like, things I wish I knew before having a baby. Like, I got really short fused with my dog, so that's what happened to me. It's normal.
Yep.
But, okay, and that brings us to our last topic. Everything is just a phase, and be present. So I feel like this is another one that we knew before being pregnant, or before having a baby, but in the moment, you definitely get tested, and you definitely have to remind yourself of that.
Like, you just have to, because there's that times, like, when she was called, like, 10 a.m. to 3 a.m., I'm like, I'm about to lose my mind right now. You know what I mean? Then, pretty much. You know, you just have to, like, take that deep breath and be like, okay, it's all right. It's just a phase. It's just short time. Just take it, one day at a time. And, she ain't bad at all. Yeah, that's something that really, I feel like, helped us as oh, goodness. That was a kiss. Thank you. Kiss and a hair pull.
That's another thing we should have added to the list. Like, girl, y'all hair is going to get ripped out. Like, But anyway, yeah, that's something that really helped us in the moment, was just to remind ourselves, like when she's crying at 3 a.m. in the morning, it can be super, super frustrating. It can test your marriage, it can test like your relationship, it can test you as a person, and it just really helped to be like, this is just a phase. We just need to live in this moment and really be present. And also with being present is, it goes by really fast, and everyone tells you that. You just spit up. This is just a good video to have her in. But anyway, this is parenthood,
it's all
guys.
over my hand and all over my pants. So.
Yeah, this is, oh, yum. Thank you for sharing. But, yeah, just being present. Sorry, we keep getting off topic. It's your fault. It's your fault. But anyway, just being present, because everyone tells you, you know, it's going to go by so quick and it's going to be over before you know it, or they're going to be older before you know it. And when people tell you that all the time, it's like, yeah, I hear you, but it really does. It goes by
Seems so far out, but like...
She's already 8 months.
8 months goes by like that. Like, so I could only imagine from her being this little, like, newborn baby, not being able to move or anything, till now she's crawling all around our house, and... You know, she's going to be probably walking soon, and so it's going to go by quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just telling yourself it's just a phase, really being present in the moment and enjoying that, because even though it seems frustrating, do you want to nurse? You just nursed. You just nursed. Even though, like, you really want that moment to be over, it's not going to last long, and you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, like, now she's 8 months old. Like, what happened to our baby? And then you're just ready for round 2. And you are just trying to convince your husband every day that you need another one. No, I'm just kidding.
I think my, like, top one, if there's, like, a top one, like, I wish I knew, was, I feel like the breastfeeding part for you, like, I just felt so helpless. Yeah. Because I really couldn't do anything other than, like, just be there and try to support you. But, like, to see your wife just bawling while trying to feed your baby, you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck do I do right now? And what do I do with my hands? They're just sitting there, you know, like, hey, what can I get you? And she's like, it's okay, this is short, it's gonna get used to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man. I think that's the, like, number one thing that, like, really threw me for a loop. Is that. Yep,
so I'm sure there's more. Maybe we'll do a part 2 if you guys enjoyed this video. But anyway, oh goodness.
What? You want some attention? You want mama?
But anyway, yeah, we're glad to be back. We love you guys. Hopefully this video is helpful to those of you out here that are pregnant or have just had a baby. You're not alone, and this is kind of maybe some things you can expect. But yeah, these are our top 8 things that we wish we knew before having a baby. So
absolutely.
Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, help the algorithm. Anyway, we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace out.